Right, good morning. My name is Antalav Breen Irisha Vartin en Gish Viralisha Mac ein Inaira, Resuad Navaid. My name is Dr. Professor Brian G. McHenry, the cultured monarch of poets. And I know it's a very big sounding name in English, it's a very beautiful name in Irish. And I want to talk about poetry, and I'll be using this video as part of a GoFundMe campaign looking for starting off with €3,000. Sorry, I just want to check something here. GoFundMe. It's my second GoFundMe campaign, and there's a third one to come. And I want to talk about poetry because I just started my 8th book of poetry the day before yesterday, as far as I remember. And I want to get them published. Now, I have 2 books here, and this is the first book that was published, Fatchin na Gowlan, Folding the Branches. And that's me sitting on a bar stool outside a pub in Cork, the Shebeen. And that was quite successful. It wasn't successful in the bookshops. I didn't have the funding to promote it. And one of the difficulties with it is that it's a book of Irish and English poetry. I write both Irish and English, nearly all English at the moment, with a smattering of Irish poems, and I'm going to give one in a minute and tell the story behind it. And this is the second book of poetry, Ceolc Húbad. And that's a phrase that people use in Cork. That's it, Ceolc. And it's a book of poetry, and there's a lot of love poems in it. I fell madly in love with a young lady, and she didn't reciprocate, and, well, that's fine. And that's me as Resuad Navaid outside Bishop Lucy Park in Cork. And I'm reissuing both of those, reprinting them this year once I get the funding. And what do I need the funding for? I need to get a new computer because the one I have is no longer portable, and that's about €1,300. And then I need to print, say, 50 or 100 copies of each book. I'll start with these 2. And then I'll try to get more funding for the rest of my poetry. As I said, I started my 8th book of poetry a few days ago. So, without further ado, here's 2 poems of recent origin. Where are my glasses? Here they are. And this is a story about Sean na Cnáva, Johnny Bones, or Johnny Spoons as he was well known. And I'll recite the poem first and then tell the story behind it. Ihe le Seaní na Cnáva, isteach san droichead lom na ihe, an é tú héin atá na dúirt sé, Seanín, ceach a bhfuil tú, cén fá bhfuil tú an seo, ó bhain tainmh as an puinte mé, amach dom tatín mise is puinte lom, Deis tamil amach le Seanín in éanach lom, an bhrealat branda is budéil mór aige ina fóca, ó ní bralam é níos déanaan é Rovadum, isteach a rís is cadríl adran, níos déanaí is mé philidum lóistín gur is ceistear, cá bhfuil tú chun fanacht san ihe, ó fai mé áit éigean, tharlum a dúirt mé leis, is bhí an ihe san labba again. I went into Undrahead pub in Dingle, just down from Connor past first pub, the second pub on the right hand side of the road. Sorry now. And There was Johnny sitting down having a pint. You could meet him anywhere. And I said to him, we had a few words, good words. And ordered a pint, didn't order a pint for him, he had one in front of him, and went out the back for a cigarette with my pint. And Johnny arrived out a couple of minutes later, and he said, would you like something to drink? And I said, no. What are you drinking now? And he had a big bottle of brandy under his coat, and he said, do you want a sup of brandy? I said, no, it doesn't do my head any good. So we chatted for a while, and he went back in, and then I followed him in, and we had a few words, good words, cadril, a bit of conversation, bit of crack, bit of kind. And when I was leaving a few hours later, I said to him, Johnny, where are you staying tonight? And Johnny said to me, oh, I'll find some place. So I said, come on, Johnny, come on, I'll bring you with me. So I won't say the name of the Losteen that we were staying in, but I brought him in anyway. And upstairs, the two of us, and into the bed. And we had a great night. Well, we didn't do anything in the bed, but I slept in the same bed as Johnny Spoons that night. And then 7 o'clock in the morning, I said, get up, Johnny, get out of here. So he got up and went out. And it took me 2 hours to go down and have breakfast, which I did. And then I went off after finishing my breakfast. And then later on that morning there, I saw Johnny up the street, and he slumped against the wall. And I said, there's nothing more I can do for him. At least I gave him a night of comfort. And he died a number of years later, and I've already recited this poem for him on a number of occasions. So since we're talking poetry and we're talking Johnny Spoons, and when he died, I wasn't able to go to his funeral, and his funeral was very well attended by musicians from all over Ireland. He was very well respected and very well liked. So Johnny, this is your poem. Ilan Gailen. Táimín ar néar inis mar capal na mara ag flusca agéan na cainte. Fi dhearra tuach mi tar nas go dtí an tráibháin ag fasca sa íocht ó ganamh úr an céad blas. And I've already explained what that poem means, so I won't go into it again. And the next poem was sparked by a conversation I had with a local trader in Tralee, Sean Hussey. And he gave me the idea for this. Old school traders. A man complimented me this morning by saying that Mum and Dad were old school in the way they plied their trade all day. Our family business was hard won, long days and nights without much fun. But cherished was our meeting time, when heaven lifts us all sublime. We were not lost, although it seemed, when sunlight through the trees it beamed, and fishing was our only passion, living in erratic fashion. Life was tough when all our friends could come and go, not seek amends, to live their life as they saw fit, jumping in and out of young life's pit. But we were dogged to the end, always there to save and fend, for our family did survive, and at Christmas more than thrive. That blessed holy time year was always mixed and tingled with fear. Would heaven see a way to bless the fortunes of our lives or less? 'Twas always mother's fear to be left with flowers that cast so dear, but always on the Christmas Eve, when all was done, and we'd give it a cheer. Across the road we would retire to Harty's bar in full attire, to celebrate our challenge one parent, sisters, and one son. So now 'tis good to hear it said that both were known instead, rather than mum and dad to us, respectful of tender people. Right, I need to write that out. Yeah, I need to write that out, and it will be a nice poem. So, what am I looking for? I'm looking for somewhere in the region of 3,000 to 5,000. I started the GoFundMe campaign for 3,000, and everyone will be able to fund my poetry. And anyone who donates €20 or more will get a copy of at least 2, if not 3, poetry books as a compliment to me. Thank you. Gur maith agat agus slán.